Come closer. Come closer. Let me tell you a secret. The only competition that you have is with you yourself. Go look into the mirror and see that you don't have to compete with anybody else. The only competition is with you yourself. Today's video is about comparisons and self-worth. Thank you. Which stone is better according to you? This one or this one? Well, some of you might ask, depending upon the task that these stones need to perform. But what the funny thing is, we don't have the same questions when it comes to people. Since our childhood, we have been fed this false notion that somebody needs to be better than the other person for them to feel good about themselves. Now, if this stone is you, and if this stone is Sharma ji ko Londa, since a kid, you would have been abused and bullied and almost assaulted mentally by your parents, saying that how this stone is much better than you. Starting from your childhood, from your school, when this guy scored better marks than you, to your board exams, the worst time of your life, when this guy scored 95% and you could only score 75. Then your college, he got into a better college maybe, and your skills of maybe becoming a chef or maybe a passion that you need to pursue was muzzled, was almost murdered, because Sharma ji ka Londa is the ideal guy that you need to chase. But one day, what happens is, Sharma ji ka Londa finds a job, a good job, and you pursued your passion. And this stone was sharpened and shaped to such an extent that this guy became a diamond. And he always remained a stone. And that's when your false notion of comparison, it broke. And then you realize that you could be much better despite being smaller, despite being of any shape, sizes and form. And that's what people don't realize about life, is that in that constant spate of comparison, comparing yourself with other people, with other people's achievements, making yourself fall into timelines that I need to achieve this by this age, this by this age, how am I doing in life as compared to somebody else, not realizing that you're running your own race. And what challenges you may have had, somebody else would have had something else. Just because somebody got rich at 21 and got screwed at 29, and just because somebody got married at 23 and you did not get married at 34 doesn't mean that you're not doing well. It's alright to set deadlines for yourself, but it's very bad, absolutely deplorable to constantly compare yourself with somebody else and always view your own personal self-worth depending upon where you are as compared to everybody else around you. Now, what worse happened is that social media amplified this game. Now, if I buy a new car, I have to post it on Facebook. Then I posted on Facebook not just because I want to share my happiness, but I want to make everybody else miserable around me. And people do get miserable, thinking that just because this guy has a better car, or this guy has a better house, or this guy has a hotter girlfriend or a hotter boyfriend, this guy must have it all and he must be extremely happy. Not realizing that happiness doesn't come from materialistic aspects, it comes from within. Buddha once said that it's better to conquer yourself than win 1,000 battles. So just because everybody else out there must be, according to you, setting that perception that they're extremely happy in life, and you are killing yourself from inside, thinking that you're not doing as well as compared to your friends or your schoolmates or somebody else. Remember this, that your race may have just started and you may be a late bloomer, but that doesn't mean that you wouldn't go to the finish line, because I know that you can reach the finish line. So stop this state of comparison which has been fed to us into our system since we were kids. This Sharma ji ka Londa syndrome needs to go away. You need to feel far more confident about yourself, and the only way that you could do that is when your self-worth is not determined by the assets that you have collected, is your intellectual capacity and your intellectual capability and your ability to be confident and not slate yourself to everybody else, because just because it may seem that they have it all may not be as much so. So don't get screwed if your friend or somebody else buys a new car or a new farmhouse or a new house rather. Stay confident, stop comparing yourself with other people. You are doing well, you are okay. Stay safe. Thank you so much.